have 7 businesses that are operating right now, not counting our investment portfolios. And we self-manage. Yes. We don't have VAs and other people to do that. So balance is critical. So we have to be 100% aligned and know what our roles are inside of that. And I think that's the part that having that execution plan together, I talk about this a lot publicly, and we're really best friends first. Then we're husband and wife. Then we're parents. Then she's a coach, mentors, designers, investors, all that type of stuff. And you got to prioritize where everything falls in line. Welcome back to this episode. Brea and I sitting out in front of the fire. Beautiful morning. You can hear the birds chirping. Let's talk about investing as a couple. It's not easy sometimes. You just went through probably the roughest patch that we've had. I shouldn't say rough, but probably the most stressful.
Very stressful.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties, including ours, in about 120, 130 days with over $1 million in renovation budget. How did that go?
3 of those houses were major renovations. So it was not just a design, get in, get out. It was down to the studs, redo the houses, everything. So
especially the ocean crust and the OBX, you know, siding, painting, decking.
Tearing out bathrooms, remodeling.
Like full
guts, yes.
So now that we've qualified that kind of started late September, early October. It was supposed to be done on Christmas Eve. Install was starting on the 26th. I was in Montana for 2 weeks. You and the girls came out for a week before Christmas. How did you manage all of that? How did we manage all of that as a couple?
I keep spreadsheets. That's what keeps me on track. Anytime I order anything, I put the date they were ordered, the date they're estimated to arrive, so I can keep track of those things. It's not a guessing game of when things are going to happen. The thing that really threw us off, though, in the OBX is the houses did not have mailboxes. Therefore, Amazon, when they were shipping things, some things actually went through the post office.
Right.
Since there was no mailbox at the house, the post office refused things and sent them back.
That is one of the downsides of ordering from Amazon, especially the smaller products. You don't know if they're shipping at UPS, FedEx, or USPS. And that is something that, honestly, we should have known that. And there's things that you learn along the way, right? People think we have all the answers. We don't have all the answers. And we've developed and rehabbed and done this stuff at places that don't have mailbox, but we've never had the problem that we had in Duck.
Every time this has happened, though, the post office has saved it and we've been able to go and pick it up. They just outright refused it and sent it back without letting us know.
Correct.
And so when Kim got there to do the install, she let us know we're missing a ton of stuff because I share that spreadsheet with her. And so then we were able to track down, figure out we had to reorder, get it quickly. And it was very stressful.
Right.
Going into Christmas at the same time, too, making sure it'd be ready.
So I think that was the biggest problem. So let's just kind of set the table. This is, a partner client of ours that we invested multiple millions of dollars, a lot of money across the country. Really from the tax, for him, it was the tax benefit side, but we had to find really rock solid properties because you never just invest for the tax benefits. So we put them into Montana, very close to one of the investments we'd made, went to the OBX with 2 mega beachfront properties. We went to Gulf Shores, very close to where we've been, like literally maybe 10, 12, 15 houses down.
8 houses down.
8 houses down from where we're at our number one property, and turned a 3-3 duplex into a 7-bedroom with kind of 7-6 with 2 extra kind of bunk room closets, if you will. So that was amazing. That was like $400,000 budget, roughly.
It was.
And I think over that course, you spent roughly between 1.2 to 1.45 million just in rehab. And that doesn't count what we're doing right now. So then we get done in January, we get Andrew out there, then we got to put up the listings. Then we have and it's not just about the investing, folks. It's what happens in life outside of that. Then I've got the mega conference that comes up right behind that. And right after the conference, we start the biggest renovation we've ever done in our life, turning a 7.6 into a 12.9 in Smith Lake, which is 2.5 hours away.
But while all that is happening, we have our family life to deal with. We have our kids, we have schedules. We have all that on top of it. So it's normal life with all this.
Mastermind meetings, couples retreats. So, and we're not saying that to say, hey, we're busy. We do not wear, that I am so busy as a badge of honor like people do. We want to work less. We want to be less busy.
Yeah.
But that's just the way that life is, if you want to get the results that we're able to get out of what we do. So I think let's kind of take a step back. How do you prioritize, like when you're going through that process? You're the one that handled the majority of that. We went to the OBX together. We met with Miguel. We met with the contractors. We laid out the plan of what we were going to do. But you're doing the design. You're doing the mood boards. You're doing the ordering. You're working hand in hand with Kim and Ocean Crest Kim Fitzpatrick from Launched Host, one of our inner circle coaches, to do, not really, we got very lucky that we had space. And not lucky, but space, and that our contractors were really good to where they would receive. And they actually even probably did half of Kim's job before she got there.
They did.
Because they set up the beds, set up the bedrooms, and they moved stuff into rooms.
They moved everything into the right rooms. We got very lucky with the contract on Novia. It was fantastic. That's one thing, too. When I'm ordering things, we are not on site. It's not going to our house. We can't drive it to where it's going to have it come to our house and drive it there. So it's very hard and challenging. We had to figure this out in advance. Where were all the supplies, the decor, the furniture? Where was it going prior to the house being ready? Because it couldn't just go to the house.
Right.
Contractors were in there. They were doing things. In Gulf Shores, we got very lucky. Our cleaner is fantastic. She's been working with us for years at all our properties.
Close to 4 years.
Yes. We actually set up a pod on her driveway. She had room next to her driveway. We had everything shipped to her house. She received it, put it in the pod, and then on the day it was ready to install, we had the pod shipped to the house. Her and her crew then unloaded it into the house.
So we kind of learned this lesson in our first Smith Lake renovation, right? If you remember, we had an issue. Was it the dishwasher? The refrigerator is one of the major appliances.
It was the dishwasher.
The dishwasher, and we ordered like a $12,000 package of Samsung appliances, and I can't remember. It might have been like President's Day. It was right around this time, like President's Day sale from Home Depot. To save money, they were shipped. We put them in our garage, and then we didn't need them. They didn't get installed for probably 60 days, 45, 60 days after that. And the dishwasher, whatever was wrong with it, didn't work. But the warranty on that, the way that it works from Home Depot, I think it was
they have to install it, and if something is wrong, they will replace it.
Correct.
But we didn't do that.
So we did the install, and if we receive, you only have like a couple of days to unbox and open it. So now that's part of the process to check and make sure that those things are working before they go in, so we don't run into that. And that's very challenging doing that remote.
Before I place the order for the big appliances, I'll check with the contractor. When will these be ready to install? Right. So that I can set the date for the delivery and have the delivery company do the installation. That way we know if it's put in right, and if there's anything wrong, it can be fixed immediately.
Right. One of the things we do is take advantage of those sales.
Yes.
Whether it's our house sales, whether it's Home Depot sales, whatever that is. So one of the big issues is receiving, and you've kind of made that a point, right? So that's one of the reasons why you go to, in the South, Rooms to Go, Mattress Firm, kind of talk about why is that important to us because they schedule, right?
Because when I place the order, I can schedule the delivery date.
Right.
Whereas if you order something online from anywhere, Pottery Barn, Wayfair, any of those brands,
Amazon,
as soon as you order it, they just ship it. It can randomly come whenever. So by going to Rooms to Go, which we're very lucky to have in our area, once I place the order, I can set the delivery date.
Right.
So I know exactly when it's coming for the setup, and the house will be ready for it.
So controlling that, and both of those actually set up the furniture. They'll set up the couch, they'll set up the beds.
The trash.
Yeah. So one, that saves money on, handyman fees. But most importantly, as we're talking about us as a couple, that saves us time and it's easier to manage.
Yep.
Right? The hard part is when we go through some of these third parties and they're like an auction house, and then you can't control invoicing, you can't control delivery dates, that type of stuff. Like Wayfair, as an example, it's shipping as soon as you order. You don't get to say, I want that next Tuesday, or Amazon, or that type of stuff. So then that makes it much more challenging and time-consuming for us to manage, right?
Yes.
That was the toughest time that we've had in our investing career, really leading up. And the Banner Elk property that we closed on, I backed out of that deal because I told you we wouldn't be working on that stuff going into Christmas.
Yes.
It cost us $10,000.
It did.
But, we ended up going back and getting the property, and we kind of took a week off or 2 weeks off. And I think the other thing that becomes really important is that, and our youngest daughter is sitting behind the camera. She won't walk in front of it, but she doesn't like Montana. And now she's laughing. She doesn't like any of our properties.
She doesn't like going anywhere.
She likes the beach.
The beach.
Why do you not like going to our properties? Be honest. So you can't really hear us. It's because we always work. And that's something now that we didn't really realize when we first started, but now we understand that. So as an example, Oakley gets to go to the beach with you and her friends for like a girls trip when they get out of school, and there will be no work that will be done. And so Brea's embargoed. I may or may not be there, but she cannot work on that trip. We're going to go to 30A and actually rent a place because we don't own there.
And fall break.
And unfortunately, our oldest daughter won't be able to go because she'll be in college, but Oakley will be able to go, and it'll either be a mom and daughter trip or it'll be us going, and there'll be no work that happens when we go there. So those are things that become really important, I think, for us as investors. We might love those properties. Montana's our favorite property.
Absolutely.
I like Montana better than our house here. I wish we could move there. But Oakley would stay here and live with her friend Lily if we moved there, and we'd miss her. So understanding that what we love doesn't necessarily correlate to what your children love. And I think that's become really important of how we're structuring our vacations now as a family and a couple. Would you agree?
Yes.
And I see almost everybody making that same mistake that we made. And it's kind of ties back into design. We can't design what you want. We can't design what I want. We have to design what the target guest is we're trying to attract wants.
Exactly. When you're styling an STR, it is completely different than a primary residence. You need so many things in a primary residence that you really don't need in an STR. You don't need the dressers. You don't need the big bulky items that go into bedrooms to stuff a full wardrobe of clothes that we have at our own house. You're on vacation. You have a suitcase full of things. You don't need all that space. So instead of buying dressers that take up a lot of space, they're expensive. They're about $800 to $1,000.
I'm laughing at you, by the way.
Why?
Because you're teaching. We're not here teaching about design.
I'm just saying, this is the one thing that drives me insane.
Hey, you're supposed to be staying on script and you're teaching.
Because
we're talking about us as a couple and investing.
One topic really gets to me when I'm designing houses for people. They insist on having dressers in their houses. Right. And you are designing an STR, not a primary house. It's completely different. You don't need that. Waste of money, waste of space.
So the other thing is making sure that probably the most important part is that we're 100% unified.
Yes.
So every time that we buy a property, and Oakley, she gets mad when she sees me looking, you're buying another property. Why? We don't need another house. That's horrible every single time. We have to be 100% in unison on everything from start to finish. Cost, our buy box, how much are we going to spend? Where are we going to buy? I'm looking in Scottsdale and Cave Creek, Arizona right now, right?
And when we go to Scottsdale, there's certain things you need to do to make this property what it needs to be, the outdoor living spaces, all the decor. And so we have to take that into consideration when you're looking at not only looking for the place, but the budget for that purchase, what we're going to spend on decorating all that.
But it all starts with the life plan. And that means that we have to be aligned. And that's a place that we want in our retirement to be able to go during the winter. So like one of the things that we gave up, fun fact that most people don't know, the last time Faeth played golf, she won the club championship at our country club.
Pregnant.
That was with Gentry. That was like 18 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't played golf for like 7 years. And so part of our deal is, she's been, and this is the thing about investing as a couple. And if you have a W-2 or if you're doctors or whatever, people might think, oh, well, you guys are entrepreneurs. You have all the time in the world. Well, she does all the finances, the books, everything on the back end. I travel. I'm doing Montana retreats, couples retreats, all this other stuff in our businesses. And we have 7 businesses that are operating right now, not counting our investment portfolios. And we self-manage. We don't have VAs and other people to do that. So that balance becomes...
We co-host other properties on top of it. So it's a big...
That balance is critical. So we have to be 100% aligned and know what our roles are inside of that. And I think that's the part that, having that execution plan together, I talk about this a lot publicly, and, we're really best friends first.
Absolutely.
Then we're, husband and wife, then we're parents, then she's a coach, mentors, whatever, designers, investors, all that type of stuff. And you got to prioritize where everything falls in line. And I think when we kind of figured out where we wanted to spend our retirement years, it really helped our investing strategy, because that's really the only spot that's missing for us is the easy, kind of Arizona place to go play golf. Because the only other place that has good enough weather year round would either be Palm Springs or Southern Florida. And we would prefer to go there. So we almost invested there a year and a half ago when we found the first Montana property.
Yeah.
But the prices were so high. Now, at least in the buy box that we're looking at, they've come down by 20 to 30%. I don't know that they're going to come down much lower. And we're looking, same thing I advise you guys to invest into. I think the best buy box is like $600,000 to $800,000. You can put in 40, 50, 60, 75,000 and turn that into a $950,000, $1 million property. That's how we build super properties. But we have to be aligned. And that's why we do couples retreats, right? And, we haven't done one since Park City in 22.
Yes.
And you remember Evan and Annie, that's where they joined the mastermind out of, and we become great people, great friends. And who else? Sheila and Scott were there as well, who were Dixons, who were mastermind. They own and Whitefish up on the mountain as well. That alignment and having that plan to be able to execute on and have those discussions on a daily basis is really what's critical. Today, we're done with this and it's Faith Friday, right? So we've got to go and talk about our life plan, discuss. I've got a couple of opportunities to look at to invest into Phoenix. We've got a soccer game for Oakley tonight. We've got to plan our Easter stuff over the weekend. So a lot of people look at trying to separate. We talk about work-life balance, right? Ours is all commingled.
Yes.
What am I doing in a few weeks?
You're going to Montana for a fishing retreat. Correct.
What did I want to do? It's like it's going to be the peak of the fish are running in April, right? All the runoff.
Yep.
I've never been able to go to Montana at this time to go fishing. So I mix work with pleasure. You can't go. It's right in the heart of Oakley's travel soccer season.
Yes.
So that means I'm going. I'm flying, and I schedule it accordingly to our family schedule. So I can watch her soccer game she has on Saturday. I can fly out on Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the retreat. So mastermind, teach, educate, network, that type of stuff in the morning, fly fish in the afternoon. Pretty cool deal, right? Couples retreat. We have our first couples retreat since 2022, and we're going to a new friend of mine, Jerry Norton. We're creating the Montana Mafia with Pace Morby, Jerry Norton, the Flipping Mastery, and Brea and I, because we're all in the Kalispell Whitefish area.
Yep.
So we're going to Jerry Norton's brand new, boutique hotel right within walking distance to San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
It's an amazing place. He's got an event, meeting space there. He educates, he teaches, he knows exactly what we need. I've been working with him and his sister Bonnie to get everything taken care of. And we're taking 15 couples, like all inclusive. Yep. Down there, food, education, have a meeting on Monday for excursions and stuff that we're going to do.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I haven't even mentioned this to you, David Brandt, who high school golf, we played together in California. He lives in Whitefish and he lives 6 months out of the year in Puerto Rico. Jerry and his family live 6 months out of the year in Puerto Rico. Part of their life plan for the tax benefits. They both said that we need to go four-wheeling, ATVing through the rainforest. They said if anybody's ever done it in Cabo or something on the dunes or whatever, that's pretty cool. Remember, we did it many years ago.
Cabo, yep.
But going through the rainforest there with the waterfalls and everything is just sick. It's just supposed to be crazy.
Oh, I'm ready.
So that may be an excursion that we have. But I think the most valuable thing that I've done as an educator, and I guess I've been doing this since 2014, 15, are the couples retreats that we've done. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Yes.
And why do you like them so much?
I liked them because it's me and you together. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things you do, the boot camps, you're on the stage, you're teaching, I'm in the background. I'll come up and do a little things here and there, but the couples retreat, it's us together.
Right.
And we're helping couples to figure out how to make it work together. Because a lot of couples, they don't really understand their roles. Like you mentioned a second ago, me and you figured out our roles in this business. You do certain things, I do certain things, but we still talk about it. But we know our roles.
Well, we didn't for probably the first half of our marriage. It was me as the alpha male out in front, the one that was, the front of the family, the relationship, the golf professional, the college golf coach, all that type of stuff. And we never really talked about it. And then you kind of wanted to come out, but because you're always so shy, so reserved, all that type of stuff. But now, we're trying to make it, I don't know that it's equal 50-50, but bring it up as much as we can because we do everything together. I wouldn't be successful without you. You wouldn't be successful without me. And it's once we got that total alignment, then that's when our net worth, our income, our time, everything just kind of took off.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I say to you all the time. I love the life that we've built together because we did it. We did it together. It wasn't either one of us. It was a combination. We did it together and we couldn't have done it without each other.
Yep. And so, I will leave you guys today with something that she just said. It's really important to always really listen and unpack. She used the word built. I use the word architect. We are very successful prior to really realigning that life in the life plan, but we are kind of just going through life and what happened. Now it's been extremely intentional to where we're grabbing it and architecting it and building it to the exact the exact thing that, we determined.
Yeah, we have dreams and visions of what we want to do, and we're able to do it now because we understand that.
Deciding that together.
Yep.
And if you never come to a couples retreat, you never join my inner circle or mastermind, and just so you know, my accelerator, the super team accelerator, the mastermind, the inner circle, but the first thing they do, required, you got to go through and build a life plan. I'm going to give you the tip. Do it individually. If you're married, husband does it on his own, wife does it on his own. Write it down, then come together. Because if you do it together right off the bat, there's always an alpha. Could be the female, could be the male, could be the husband, the wife, whatever. But you want to do it individually because you'll influence the other person, then bring everything together.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.